Alrighty, here we are for game one on the play. And this looks pretty good, so we're going to keep it. I mean, the only thing that could make this better is, the perfect curve of turn 1 Jotty into turn 2 Rattleclaw. But, I mean, what can you really ask for here? Still pretty good to just turn 3 Map the Waste, turn 4 Veggies. And looks like they're on the slow road anyway, so that's pretty good for us. And who even knows what this, just mono shambling vents apparently. That's cool. Let's go ahead and get a blue, try and maybe set up for a possible dig through time or something. And see maybe if we can figure out what our opponent is playing. Just mono land apparently. So we can pop this Jotty and do Veggies, so don't really see a reason not to. Gain a little life. And just go on and get doubles of each. Make sure we can dig if we need to. But we're more than likely just going to do this is renewal and then pop a Great Aurora. And they're going to wait till my Jotty triggers have stacked to Crackling Doom. Which seems like a weird choice. But 'twas theirs to make. So definitely playing against Mardu something. Feels like it should be a Gideon, but okay. It's not really that bad though. They can attack us for 7. We're about to gain 7, so not really a big deal. I guess we'll leave our blues up, just cause. If you can try and show that you have some sort of counter available, seems like you just always should. And I guess if we're going to act like we have a counter... Oh, well, Despise. I thought it was Duress at first, but we don't really care about Despise. As long as we don't get Duress, we're fine. Just want to pop this Aurora, reset their board, and keep going about our day. But it seems like they really just want to keep Doom open. So I kind of feel like they don't have... And I feel like if they had Duress, they would have popped that off early. Especially with me playing ramp spells. So I'm guessing they thought I was playing just regular Eldrazi ramp. And now they still just don't really know what I'm playing. So that's pretty cool. And we get a second Great Aurora. So, what we want to do though is just float all this mana. That way we can have as much available to us after this. And they say, let's do this. I'm not sure what exactly we're doing, but we're apparently doing it now, whatever it is according to our opponent. And so let's see. We could Wealth now, which I think we might actually. It would be, so we already have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7x Wealth. It's not great, but we don't really have any other ramp spells either. So what we could do is pop another Aurora and see if we can get a better one. But with them essentially tapped down, I think we just want to pop an Aurora, or a Villainous Wealth rather. See what we can get off there. At 7x we could hit some Gideons and some pretty cool stuff. And there we go. Gideon is pretty great. We're going to cast this on... Let's see, do we just want to make... dudes, or nah, let's pull some stuff out of their hand. And we'll doom them. That's usually the hardest part of the deck, is which way to stack stuff. Let's see, do we care if they utter in their own Gideon? Not really. I guess Soren can gain them some life. Take their own Gideon. Crackling Doom is going to be pretty much, we don't care. So I think we just take the Gideon and say screw it. And so now this is my favorite part of the deck. Usually don't get to play with Gideon because I just don't feel like paying for him, but now I get to play with him. So get to have some fun and get the Gideon experience. And hopefully, this is also just the greatest thing, is it's pure card advantage. Making them utter in their own Gideon, it's just so good. And then I can beat on them with a Night Owl I made from it. And see, they just use their entire turn to get rid of their own Gideon. That is just ridiculous. So from here though, still only have 4, 5, 6, 7. So I know we're going to have to face down the Rattleclaw. And I guess we might as well drop the Jotties, but then again, he has Doom, so maybe Rattleclaw. Let's see, I can sack the Night Ally instead of Rattleclaw. So I think it should be fine to face down him. Wasn't really anything else in his hand that we should care about. We just need to pop off another Aurora and hope that one is better. So let's face this down. And I guess we'll go on and put some Jotties into play. Maybe we'll draw like Mrs. Renewal or something. That'd be pretty good. And actually, if he dooms, the way Aurora works is, or at least the way I'm pretty sure it works, is this, or no, the Night Ally. So anyway, if I own some of their stuff in our Aurora, they get those cards back. That's what they get to redraw, because it's the permanents you own get shuffled back and you draw that many cards. So typically you don't really want to own a bunch of their stuff and then Aurora, because it gives them just a bunch of cards that, well, it goes either way, because you can mill them off with that, or they could possibly just find answers to everything you're playing. So it can kind of go either way on you. So here, I really just want to try and beat with the Knight so that I can, once again, the tokens and stuff, they do count as permanent, so that'll be more cards they can draw. And while I am trying to essentially mill them, I don't want them having that many cards. So they didn't take the bait, so we got in for 2 damage, which is cool. And actually, tap that for blue, just in case we get another dig, we can pop that off. So let's hit an Aurora, we'll waste the red. And oh, we already messed up. We were supposed to float that blue, but oh well. And let's see, did it even matter? No, not really, because we wouldn't be able to use an extra blue. Oh, we would have been able to pilgrimage and renewal. So there's a pretty good lesson for you, is always float the mana first. Otherwise you will miss out on land. I mean, we'd just be able to ramp way better. We could just Hedron Archive, Nissa's Renewal next turn, and maybe even another map to waste. So if you decide to play this deck, just be sure to always float your mana and then play Aurora. You don't want to do it the other way. And I'm surprised my opponents never catch on to that kind of line as well when they see me doing it. P and Kieran is okay. It seems like Mardu Midrange, which I don't know how that became a thing. I saw it played on Star City Games today, but looking at the list, it just seems like a pallet jump. I just don't even know how to put it any other way, but it seems to be pretty good. So let's see, Villainous Wealth. So we can play Hedron Archive, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, doggone it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can play all this stuff this turn. So we'll add 2. So we'll be able to get a pretty big wealth next turn, even if they duress or Mardu charm 1 or 2 of them away. I don't really foresee us not being able to pop at least one of them off. And we should be able to get some pretty good stuff off of it. And this is kind of what I was talking about in the intro video. If we had Oblivion Sovereign right now, we'd be able to get 3 lands that we could use for additional fuel for our Villainous Wealth. And they're starting to bring the beats now, but we're at 37, soon to be, what is this, 32? Yeah. So we'll see what the follow-up play is. Thought it was going to be Mardu Charm, or I just don't even know what kind of mana that's for. Oh, just a big hanger back, so something we just don't even care about. We're just going to play this forest and wealth it up. So a 15 or 16x wealth. And we get just stuff. So this is really the hardest part of the deck though. We need the Soulfires to resolve first. So we need to stack them last. We don't really care when that resolves, or this, or Gideon. But we want the Doom to also resolve sooner. Let's see, what will that hit? That'll hit Hangerback Walker. So no, we actually want to resolve Utter End first. So we'll impulse this, impulse that. Crackling Doom, Utter End that Hangerback, Soulfire, Soulfire. And it just doesn't even do us any good to play that, so whatever. And so this is the point usually in the normal rooms where somebody would just straight up rage quit, but you know, since this is league play, I guess they don't really want to do that. So we'll despise the only thing we can. And let's see, we'll put a knight out for sure. And then should we get a flyer to protect our dudes? Or his dudes, rather, I guess. Because we don't really need to gain life. So I don't think I care about that. Usually I would just plus Gideon over and over again. But honestly, if we have to Aurora for some reason, once again, these will count towards their permanent count for what they'll redraw. So if we can just kill these Planeswalkers off, basically, next turn just Emblem Gideon, make another token on Soren, and swing at him. That'd be pretty good. This seems like it should be a Tasker. Oh, Murderous Cut. Duh. We saw that in his hand. Doing a pretty bad job of being a good Magic player right now and writing down what he had in his hand, but that is why we're from the scrub source, isn't it? But so once again, he is playing his hand out all on his own stuff. This is just pure card advantage for us right now. And even if they smack Gideon in the face, I'll just plus him and beat him in the face with him. So they're gonna kill Soren off, which, good lord, I do not understand the importance people put on Soren to the extent that they do. But it's not like it matters, honestly. Let's see, what could he do? He could... This is where I should have wrote down what his hand was, but he could Doom, which, whatever. I mean, basically, we're just going to Villainous Wealth and mill him off, so let's just do that. See what the final contents of his deck is. A 17x Wealth this time. So that's just literally everything of his deck. So now what to bring in, though, I feel like Languish is pretty good. I've seen the deck lists, and obviously we just saw his entire deck. But I feel like, I mean, he's got black, he had Despise, so he's bound to just bring in all the Duresses and try to hit our wealths. So I feel like we have to bring in Oblivion Sower. Voidwinter could actually be pretty good, because Pia and Kieran, they have even converted mana cost. Gideon has even. Soren, I mean, a lot of his key stuff had even costs, so we can pretty safely bring that in. And the big question is going to be what to cut. And since I'm bringing in Oblivion Sowers, I feel like I don't really want Aurora that badly, so I'm going to at least cut 2 of those. Once again, just pulling their lands, I think those will still count as their permanents, so that'd be more cards they would draw. And we really just don't want that. And as well, once we get an Oblivion Sword down, we don't really want to reshuffle that back in. So I feel like I want to keep all the Rattle Claws. I think maybe I can cut Jati, because Mardu Midrange doesn't really do anything early. So I don't think I need the life gain from that. And we're down to 60 cards again now. So do I want Languish? I could just cut the other Auroras for Languish. Let's see. I kind of really just want to keep all my ramp stuff because I want to just get there. And Dig still seems good because I can find Sower or Winnower or just anything. This is pretty tough. And we'll be on the draw. Let's see. Let's try like one map, one Hedron Archive, and bring in our Languishes. And hopefully that just works out good. We'll see what happens. I'm going to keep this on the notion that we have 4 lands, a Hedron Archive, we already have 1 black for our Languish, and we've got some pretty good things that we can draw into, and we have extra draw steps being on the draw, so this seems okay even though it is kind of heavy and not very rampy. It seems like we should be able to get there. It's not really doing it for us, but once again we have... Let's see. I mean, if we can pull like a Rattleclaw off our draw. Soulfire. Alright, so did not quite consider that when saying that they don't have very many early plays. And there we go. That's going to help get us there by a lot. And he's just playing a bunch of tap lands and stuff. He's getting in for damage and gaining life, but we don't really care if our opponent gains life in this deck. It just doesn't really matter to us. What was this like? Oh, okay, hang her back. I was gonna say Draconic Roar or something, but what would you even roar? And Rattleclaw, a turn too late. But oh well. That's okay. So we'll just do this. Play some pilgrimages. Go pilgrimaging. And let's see, what can we do? Our next turn's gonna be not that great, but I think we can, let's see, we'll be able to Hedron Archive and play Rattleclaw, which isn't great, but at least we can, yeah, so with Renewal we can just like sacrifice him to Soulfire basically to stop some of that damage. And then, so let's see, we need a green open. And then we'll tap that and this. Oh, we can cast it face down. D to D. That's just how great I am at this game. Just so great. But so we're really just looking to cast Nyssa's Renewal next turn. And honestly from there, what was this? Doom? Yeah. Okay, whatever. That's fine. And a pump of the hanger back. That's okay. So we're just looking to Renewal next turn, gain a bunch of life, and then we'll have to decide if we want to Aurora or Villainous Wealth. And he's looking to just draw some cards. And looks like he just wants to spend a couple more turns pumping hanger back. So we're pretty good on life. Let's see, we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. So should we try and act like we've got like a counter or something? I guess we might as well, right? So if nothing else, we will at least get our second black source for Languish, and get more islands, I guess. Seems like anytime you can have blue or leave blue open to just kind of, oh, he forgot to pump his hanger back. If you can just kind of scare people into thinking, you know, oh, he's got counter this, counter that. Seems like you should. Is this Pia and Karen? No? Sarkhan, that's pretty good. So in light of that, I think I actually will just Aurora next turn. I can't really allow him to have this much advantage over me. So 4, 6, 8, yeah. Because I mean, maybe we hit some stuff, but maybe we don't. Off Villainous Wealth. We can also just Renewal again. That's pretty tempting. So 5, 6. We can Renewal and Languish. I mostly just want that Sarkhan gone though. So we'll just float all our mana. We kind of do want our black open. So just tap our greens. Oh, dummy. What? We didn't actually need the black open. But anyway, let's see. We can Oblivion Sower and Pilgrimage. Oh, we can actually do more than that. Let's see. So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that'll be for a Sower. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I guess we'll just veggies after that. Be nice to, well, I guess we could wealth. Actually, if we wealth and hit a bunch of land, that'd be great. And then we could Sower after that. So let's do that. It's not going to be the greatest wealth, but 9 is pretty good. We can play a lot of good things off of 9x wealth. And we're basically just going to pull crap out of his hand now, essentially. And we also hit a Shambling Ven and a